Hello, I am the Enlight. It's okay, play the video.
Over the last 400 years, what power has done the most to spread the ideals of limited government, an independent judiciary, certain inalienable rights, and free markets? That power would be the British Empire.
What? You are supporting those international terrorists?
It was Britain that gave these ideals to the United States. It was the British Empire, the largest empire the world has ever known, which made these ideals global aspirations.
Do you not even know your own history? The 13 English colonies wanted independence from this empire because they didn't want to pay taxes to fund the monarchy. Do you not know this?
It was the British Empire, along with America, that defended these ideals in two colossal world wars.
You know what isn't upholding the rights of your people? Let me tell you. You said inalienable rights, remember?
Inalienable rights.
Well, how's this for you? What if I told you the British Empire enslaved millions of people in India for the purposes of producing tea? The Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 had one specific clause in it I would like to enlighten you on. This act specifically excluded the territories in the possession of the East India Company, or to the island of Ceylon, modern-day Sri Lanka by the way, or to the islands of St. Helena. But okay, that exclusion was abolished in 1843, so there's no slavery in the British Empire. Except this doesn't mean there wasn't slavery under a different name. Before the abolition of slavery, and after, the area was ravaged by man-made famines killing over 10 million people. There was another famine as recent as 1941 killing a further 2 million. The best way to control people is cause a problem in their society and uphold the cure out of their reach until they obey your superior commands. If the British Empire cared about the ideals of limited government and inalienable rights, why did they support apartheid in South Africa? Why did they support the monarchy in Iran, which they placed back into power after toppling a popular movement to defend oil interests? Doing all these violated the principles which you say the British Empire upheld. The British Empire broke up the Kurds into fake states, only to be controlled by authoritarians. If these people are fighting each other, just take the oil from under their noses. That, my friend, is another violation of inalienable rights of the people. I could go on, but we would be here all day. Let's hear why the British Empire was a bastion of freedom and liberty, and why I am naive. I'm listening.
Freedom was an Englishman's right, and wherever he went, he took that right with him, whether he was an English colonist in America,
or a tyrannical monarch who violently enforced taxation on their colonies. Such freedom.
Governing himself through a locally elected assembly, or an English adventurer like Sir Stamford Raffles, creating the free market city-state of Singapore, or an English officer like T.E. Lawrence, leading Arab tribesmen against the Turks. The British always thought of themselves as liberators, as bringers of freedom.
Isn't that what Western governments think of themselves when they bomb innocent children in Syria and Iraq? How can you say that this is freedom? How can you say this unironically and not cringe at the sound of your own voice? The mass murders of innocent civilians by drones and bombing campaigns across the Arab world has created more terrorism and radicalization, not less. Let's think about this here. It requires a little empathy. Suppose you're a teenage Syrian boy who witnesses an airstrike hit their house and kill both his parents, you're going to be angry, right? Your family was brutally murdered by a terror state. So how much of a stretch is it for you to fall victim to the cultish mentality of jihad when they tell you you're getting revenge on those who killed your family? Yes, we murdered your parents for freedom. Live with it, kiddo.
The British believed the final and necessary justification of their empire was a moral one. The British kept the peace. They brought sound, honest administration.
No, they did not. They promoted dictatorships and absolute monarchies in their client states. Hardly sound administration, right?
And they insisted that basic moral standards were honored.
Except if you disagree with us, then we will withhold food from you until you die. That's what happened in India, repeatedly. A famine killing 10 million people in the territory of the East India Company is not accidental.
The British did not try to nation build in the way we think of it now. They were under no illusions about making Arabs or Afghans or Zulus into Englishmen. They were more than content to leave people alone, to let them be themselves, to govern them with the lightest possible hand.
Empirically false. Say that to the people who were living in the monarchy of Iran or the famine victims in India or Ireland. Say that to the people who have suffered at the hands of British client states in Africa. You won't, because deep down, you know you're wrong. And remember, my friends, the light will light the